Welcome back to Case Closed, Anime Review episode 168. This I'm viewing episode 1056. The episode's called I Want My Husband Back. That is seriously in this episode. Starts out with a guy driving, and he moves over to avoid a cat, hits an old man, and some old lady witnesses this. And clearly, the blood guy is clearly dead. He away from an ambulance. Nope, he ran to the hospital himself. But it's later revealed, nope, he taken to the hospital. He's had to bury the body. Yes, seriously. And of course, the lady is investigated about it. And they identified this guy as Byru, I think his name is. Where it turns out later on, he actually has a very beautiful wife, who apparently is somewhat greedy. By the way, he's supposed to be 53 and she's like 46, but damn, she's very beautiful for 46. Yeah, so, and then all of a sudden, Mori is called in with Conan to go talk to her, to find her missing husband, who she thinks possibly might be alive. And there's a few different hints exactly what's going on here. So, they discuss possibly, trying to find him, and then all of a sudden they get a phone call from... They think it's the guy who ran him over, but nope, it was actually somebody else. Yeah, what this is actually into the ending. The whole thing at the beginning of the episode, yeah, that was completely pointless. That kind of sets up the other thing going on here. So, yeah, so they kind of figure out that Conan basically goes to the... They go to the crime scene, the action scene, and... just by sheer coincidence, oh look, it's the guy who ran him over, wearing a mask, in order to disguise himself. And it turns out, yep, this is the guy who ran him over, but not the one who made the ransom phone call, which, by the way, first one I said was 10 million yen. Later on, it was 30 million yen, for reasons. So, they take him in, and instead of taking him to the police precinct, they take him straight to her house. For some reason. Now, I'm not sure why Mori did this for. If he was still a police officer, he would take him to the police station, but technically he isn't one. They just brought him to her house. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Now, Mori himself is basically chewed out for this a little bit, but it barely affects the episode. By the way, after them talking, of course, they get another phone call. Oh yeah, it's up 30 million now. This was whenever after they just talked to the guy who confessed that he was a random over, but not the one who basically... So it turns out he hit the body, and they go dig at the body, and disappeared. Where the heck the body is, not revealed in the episode. By the way, this is actually an episode with a dead body, where the guy wasn't murdered. He was killed by accident. And they all know it was an accident. So, then of course, basically, 30 million yen... being a study case, and I was like, oh yeah, on the study. By the way, the study's got this big safe, which apparently has got this retinal scanner. Yes, a retinal scanner. They don't say what it is, but clearly, by appearance-wise, it's like, oh, something to identify something. Yeah, that is a retinal scanner. Well, mostly it's a way to identify both eyes, because no retinal scanners I've seen, in fact, usually just one little thing, scan dry ball, and bam, you open the safe. And apparently, only the husband's access is safe. There's no key code, there's no lock thing, a retinal scanner. And she's wondering, get into the safe. And by the way, it's there's actually nothing in the damn safe. Because it turns out, thanks to Kodo's investigating, apparently he was hiding money from a tax evasion. I'm like, really? Yeah, second time seeing these Emerge episodes this year, where we have a tax evasion thing. And like last time, it's a small part of... In the case last time, it was a small part of the plot, barely do with the actual murder itself. This one, it's actually a little bit more involved this time. So, they go to this place, this mountain, which apparently he purchased some land there. By the way, it's revealed the reason why he's in the area got run down. Apparently he was renting an apartment there. He actually ran it a week prior to the episode. And it's later found by Keba, who was basically instructed, supposedly, mission from Maguire, but really would just go in and tell him to protect the apartment. Apparently the apartment, inside the closet, had bags They were filled with 350 million yen. Yes, seriously. Now, who besides the owner, besides the, apparently they refer to him as a president. He's probably president of some company. What company he's a president of, it's never revealed in the episode. Yeah, what company he's part of, it's never revealed. So, then of course, basically, they go to the place and, like, man, they've been there for a while. And they go inside. Oh, the secretary is unconscious. And apparently the Conan did tell Takagi something, and of course they reveal, Conan knocks out Mori. And it's revealed that, oh yeah, this ex never was an ex at all. It was just basically the secretary's girlfriend. Yep, seriously. I mean, it could be implied like it was before with the husband dead and possibly money involved, that maybe the secretary and the beautiful wife were having an affair. Nope, not this time. Yeah, that's what happened last time they had one of these type of episodes where you have a beautiful woman, you have the secretary. Oh, and by the way, there is no other person aside from the old lady who's only seen aside from the opening scene and a couple more times after that, she's barely involved in the episode. Never identified by name, just some random old lady who just happens to see this stuff. They do identify the guy who ran him over. They identify him. He, of course, is practically not the whole episode. Yeah, and this is all about the money and possibly ransoming $30 million out of her. And, of course, the secretary is arrested along with his secretary. And they have a funny gag at the end of the episode where, basically because he helped solve a kidnapping case, kidnapping of a dead body, a kidnapping case where apparently a giraffe has been stolen. Yes, a freaking giraffe has been stolen. And this person will pay this much in order to have Mori find it. I mean, how can you hide a giraffe? Good question. And that's of course, he joked a couple times about, oh, you probably have to cut their pay. Not really. They were doing something basically as helpful to the case, so they were perfectly fine. The pay is not going to be cut at all. Yeah. But not really much else to say here. By the way, how did Mori get involved, basically? Not Mori, how did the inspector come into place? Well, because the apartment is connected, and of course they questioned the wife about it. It is by far the most bizarrely written episode. I mean, watching this, it felt as though basically this episode went through a couple different rewrites. Like, it looks like we have a bunch of different stuff going on here. Like the stuff with Rare Dead Body. Maybe it didn't run. Nope, it just an accident. It felt as though 5 or 6 things going on in this episode. It felt very disjointed. Aside from the voice acting and the animation, it's an overall very weak episode. It's not terrible per se, but it's pretty weak. Yep. But not much else to say this episode. Next week we turn to Detective Boys, but looks like just the guys. No Hybra, no Ami for some reason. Yeah, they're absent, surprisingly. And also follows them calling thieves. Yeah, another weird episode. So we took a week off for case closed. So, let me get this straight. So, the last episode aired was 2 weeks ago. So they took an extra week off, do this episode, and they do this? Wow. It was by far you could kind of think of it as a pretty pointless episode because it's anime original. By the way, they said its filler case is 374. So that means next week 375. Yeah. Like I said before, it's not that good of an episode. Oh, by the way, fun fact, the only it's been since the last Canon case aired, like officially, as of this week, a month ago. No, seriously, it's been a freaking month. So this is the last Canon case. We've had 2 episodes in the past month. Yes. So they delayed this episode, and I think maybe this episode was originally supposed to come out last week, but it probably go through some rewrites rather than do the episode itself. Yeah, but not really much else to say here. It's like I said, pretty disappointing episode. Okay, so that's it, particular review. Next up was Boruto, and it's on the Go Ranger. Okay, next video. Bye.